Hey everybody, it's Shelby with Shelb's Crafty Corner. I hope you're doing great today. We are here because we are going to do a swag tutorial. This is going to be a fall scarecrow tutorial. Scarecrow head in a teardrop swag. So let's get started. You're going to start off with this Evergreen pine swag. It is a 28-inch PVC teardrop. They were $9.99 at Ellis Home and Garden. You know I get a lot of my swag from there if you've seen my videos. A lot of times they put them on sale for $7.99, so it's a really good deal. So we're going to start off with this, and we are only going to use one color mesh today because this is a fall design. Burlap is universal, like we can use burlap for anything. So you're going to cut our curls the same way we do for our wreaths and for our garlands. So I'm just going to start cutting, and I'm just pulling it straight out with my hand and cutting across. This is a 10-inch burlap that I also got from Ellis Home and Garden. You can shop with them online. Hobby Lobby has good burlap. Craft Outlet, White Bayou Wreaths and Supplies. They have really good burlap and mesh. They have lots of good mesh. So I'm just gonna cut this up. This was a roll that I'd already used some of. And for a swag, we don't need a whole lot. So we're gonna start off with this much and just kind of see where it goes from there. So I'm starting off at the top. Okay, I'm gonna bring you in just a little bit closer. There we go. All right, I'm gonna take my burlap curl and I'm gonna hold it against me. It rolls in by itself, but we're gonna just roll it in a couple of times, and then we're just gonna shuffle it together. Scruffle it together, just like that. Nothing crazy. I'm gonna get a couple of ties. I don't usually go for the very top two because they're usually pretty flimsy, and I don't want it just sitting there like waving off the top of it. And I'm just gonna take those ties and twist it around it a couple of times. And what that's done is created like a fanned look right here. Now, when you do one side, it's not, a swag does not look good to me when you're putting mesh on it. It does not look good till you're almost done, especially when you're going down the first side. You feel like there's lots of gaps, but it really will fill in. So I have my one little fanned piece here, and I'm just gonna work my way down. So I'm not shoving it up under here unless I feel like it needs it, but I'm just gonna move to the next part that's showing some greenery. I'm gonna stick this in right there. Now I am not going all the way to the spine. I'm going about halfway. I leave about 1 inch or so from the spine. I am making sure to tie those ties around it pretty tight though. That way you can't just pull that mesh out of there. But we're gonna put so much glue and items into here that it's gonna be held. Moving on to our next curl. We do the same method each time. Find 2 ties and twist it in. We don't want to go all the way to the spine because we still need to keep that full shape around this top part. We don't want to lose that teardrop form, or else then we just have a rectangle, and my customer did not order a rectangle. Now, as you work your way down, the bottom parts are really, really skinny. So we are going to go all the way in to the spine with that part. That way, we're still keeping our swag form right here. Now I'm getting toward the bottom. And I'm just gonna put a piece, not directly straight at the bottom, but just fan it out right there at the bottom. And then that acts as our curve to start working our way back up. I just work with whatever feels comfortable for me sidewise. And so I don't work my way back down this side. I just keep going where I'm at. I like to work my way back up. I might have to go get us some more burlap. I will. I only have one piece left. Look at me being unprepared. What's new? Okay, let me go grab some more burlap. We just need a few more curls. But this does prove that you only need one roll for this project and not even a full roll. Sorry for the loud trucks. I'm going to cut off 3 more pieces. We'll finish adding our last one. Now, what we can do, we are putting a scarecrow head here, but if you find that you're not putting a big piece to cover this, you can take a few more curls and just add a couple right here in the center to cover up that evergreen. So this is our swag. This is where we're at so far. Doesn't look like a whole lot of anything, right? Now, let's take our scarecrow head and get him placed. So I bought this from Wayside Whimsy on Etsy. They did not, this is a custom order, so they did not want to use the arms and the legs. It came as a kit, that was fine. They just wanted the head. And so we're gonna put the head in here. And she already has these ties on here. So we are going to use these, especially the middle one, because we can really secure him to this swag. That way, for whatever reason, we can feel very confident in knowing that his head's not going anywhere. And then later, we'll just come back and clip off that excess. Excess, not access. I'm gonna take these side ties and just kind of grab some of that burlap and some of that like side evergreen and just twist this around it just for a little bit of extra security. He is very lightweight though, so gluing him on should not be an issue. Super cute. We are gonna raise him up and we are gonna add a little bit of glue. I'm gonna take my wire cutters and just put them on top. They're pretty heavy. If you have the Knipex are pretty heavy. So they're a very good weight for sitting that in there. Now, what we're gonna do is make our main bow. So she wanted the head in the middle, surrounded by leaves and pumpkins, and then the ribbons and stuff throughout. So we're gonna do our main bow right here in the middle, right up under where he's at. And these are the ribbons that were requested. So let's get these opened up and we can talk about how we tie a bow. Why don't I throw those down? I'm gonna cut all the plastic off. Now what we have is two 2.5 inch and three 1.5 inch. We are obviously going to start with the 2.5 inch on the bottom and then work our way up. 5 ribbons makes a really pretty and full bow is what I have come to learn. So what we are doing, let's see. Okay, so we're going to start off with our tail, just a short little tail like this. Because, well, hold on, let me see how I want to place this. We go back up. Yeah, okay. This is actually going to be our top. I'm left-handed. This is how I tie my bows. We're going to go like this, and I'm going to bring it back up like that. That's all I did. I just did a fold and a fold, okay? Pause this, rewind it, watch it over and over again. But I'm going to do the same thing with the other ones. I'm going to take this ribbon. I'm going to make my own loop, lay it on top, and I'm going to fold it. The reason I'm not cutting these is because we're going to waterfall them down the swag. I'm going to take my next ribbon. I think I'm going to use my pattern. No, I'll leave orange for the top. So we're going to go blue. We're going to make a loop. And I'm going to fold it up. Now I'm not waterfalling all of these. This plain ribbon, I'm just going to go ahead and snip it. I'm going to come in with my patterned ribbon. I'm going to make a loop, place it on top, and then I'm going to fold it. I'm going to take the orange one for last. I'm going to make a loop, and then I'm going to fold it. kind of making sure the tails are where I want them before I tie this down. I'm gonna take a pipe cleaner, any color. Trying to get one that kind of matches what you're doing. But if you don't have one, also not a big deal. A lot of people use zip ties. I just have always used pipe cleaners so that I can just take it and use it to also tie it around the back. Now I'm coming right up under him here. And I'm gonna run my pipe cleaner, oops, through the spine. Well, I've lost 1/2 of my pipe cleaner. Where's it at? Oh, there it is. Pulling it in, not too tight because I don't want it to pucker. I don't want it to look like that. Okay, let me trail these down and then we can fix it. Right now it's like very chaotic. There's a lot going on. But I'm gonna take these 2.5 inch, and I'm just gonna make a nice little loop. And I'm just gonna scrunch it with my fingers. I'm gonna lay this pattern one on top. And I'm gonna come to the side right here because I'm waterfalling it down this side. I'm gonna grab a couple of these ties that are in here and just twist them around. Just like that. Now we can snip these off and fix everything up. So now we're gonna dovetail, and what that means is you just take the wire on each side and fold it in half and cut up at a triangle. Fold it in half, cut a triangle. I'm gonna do that with all the rest of the tails. I'm gonna cut these top ones pretty short, and we might have to cut them a little bit shorter. I don't want them blocking his face. All right, now I can spread these loops apart and we can get an idea of what our bow actually is looking like. All right, so this is how we are looking so far. Now that we have our main components done, let's throw them up on the stand, and maybe y'all can see a little better too. Let me find my little loopy. All right. My stand's a little bit short for swags. That's not. Let's go that way. A little bit shorter. Okay. Now let's take and add all of our accent ribbon in here. Now I know that we definitely want to add a little bit more of this focal point ribbon and some more of the plaid. So I want to take this plaid and I want to run it right here. So I'm making a long tail. I'm going to go in right here. I want this to be semi-long. And I'm going to take this focal ribbon here and do the same thing. And I'm going to cut this side a little bit shorter. So the objective down here is we're still keeping that teardrop shape. So the way that we do our ribbons and our cuts, we want to keep the eye, you know, looking that direction. I'm going to go a little bit lower. It's hard to tell because my table's in the way. I need a taller stand. And then we'll just dovetail them. I dovetail my ribbons as I go. I don't just add them all throughout. I have to clean it up. We're just keeping that short here, long here to just keep that elongated shape. Now because I did it down here, I know I need some sprinkles of it up here. And so what I'm going to do up here is make what we call a baby bow. And so I'm just making a loop. Okay, I'm just taking it and making a loop. I'm going to take this and do the same thing. And when you make a loop, you can just twist this back ribbon here so that they both face the same direction. And we are going to come up here next to the head, grab us some time from somewhere, and twist this in. Now if I want to, I can take these and waterfall them down the side. And I think that's really cute. Clip that off, dovetail these here. And then we're gonna bring these two short little tails up and dovetail them up here. Now you're going to do the same thing on the other side, because now it just looks a little lopsided and uneven. Now, let's see. I might not do the bow up there. I might just do some tails. Let's see. I guess we'll go ahead and do the bow. Sometimes you don't want your item to look just super proportional, because then it just looks weird. This is supposed to be handmade. It's supposed to be perfectly imperfect. So you don't want things just always matchy-matchy. Bring this in here, tie it into here. We're going to shoot our short tails up there, and we'll bring our long ones, oops, down here. You're just taking our hand and just gently waterfalling, but then we're tucking it back in. That way it's not just hanging off the edge. Okay. That is where we are so far. It's looking pretty stinking cute, right? Pretty stinking cute. That's a beautiful thing with a swag is you can do a whole lot with just ribbon. A whole lot. Maybe throw a pumpkin right there and boom, you can be done. I'm gonna take a little bit, I think, no, that's enough of that brown. I don't like it that much. I do think we can take some blue because we are gonna be putting a lot of orange in here with the pumpkins. And so I'm gonna make a little tail that's gonna stick right inside of here. And I'm just gonna waterfall it down this side. You don't always have to waterfall. You can always just do some tails if you want to. I'm just waterfalling these because it seems to look okay. I have blue countering this blue here, but I am going to take a little piece of this blue and make a tail to balance out my color. And I'm just going to stick it right here on this side. I'm going to go in right behind this ribbon, twist a tie around it, and just give it a little peek through. Just a short little piece, but it carries a lot of color. And if we don't like it later, we'll move it. But once we start adding stuff, it's gonna blend a lot more. Okay, now let's start adding our pieces. We want lots of sunflowers and lots of pumpkins. But we are going to start off with leaves. Leaves create a beautiful fall color and lots of really cheap gray coverage, if we're just being completely honest, okay? We like the cheap gray coverage. These came from Hobby Lobby last year. I do not know if Hobby Lobby is carrying them again this year, but they are $1.99. So that makes them about $1 after the discount. So I'm just cutting them kind of short. Now I only have 4 of these, so I want to place them sparingly. Now I know you think you can't see the ribbon once I put that in there, but here's the thing, like your door, you're gonna be able to see the side view too. Like, so you can't just, it can't just be straight on. You gotta have all the views, all the angles. So we're gonna go one there. I'm just gonna dry run this just a little bit since I only have 4 and make sure I get these where I want them. Excuse my head. I just can't see all the angles. Okay, we're just gonna do like that. They're not straight across from each other. They are a little bit angled. But when you have an even number, kind of just do what you gotta do. So let's go ahead and glue these down so we don't forget about them. The beautiful thing about a stainless steel table is that all that hot glue we drop pops right off. It's great. Sorry guys, we are in the middle of town in East Texas, so there's just a lot of loud trucks. Okay, we got those added. I have this one bush of these super light colored leaves that I think are gorgeous. And so I'm just gonna pick it apart and we're gonna sprinkle these in here also. Just a few little trinkets of this leaf. Just little details. Really adding that fall feel to it. All right, now let's take some sunflowers. I bought this bush, that sunflower came off. It's a great bush, but they only want sunflowers. So unfortunately, I might use some of the pine cones. I don't know, we'll use some of the warmer pieces of this bush. Let's go ahead and chop these off. I'm gonna go ahead and chop off this little pine cone here. That's a cutie. Oops. All the sunflower heads are falling off this bush. So this came from Craft Outlet, and I'm just kind of like, interesting. But it did come with a few velvet pumpkins we're gonna sprinkle in here too. We're just not gonna use the, what are those, mums? Not gonna use the mums. Okay, sunflowers. Now I need a good pumpkin. Yep, we need a good pumpkin right here. This is a good pumpkin. This is a Hobby Lobby pumpkin. Styrofoam, I think $3. These are good ones. Then we're gonna take a sunflower. I'm gonna do one with the leaves on it. And we're just gonna counter it just like that. Just catty corner that a little bit. Now these, because the stem has come off, we are just gonna glue these directly into this burlap. Burlap is not like, you know, regular mesh. It's not plastic, it's not gonna melt. So it's great adherence. I'm gonna bring this one up higher here. And now some other sunflowers. We might have to bring this one over to this side actually, because I only have 3. These are a little bit different. Okay, so we have 3 of the same ones. We're gonna go here. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3. And then we'll add in the others. These came from Michael's. Yes, Michael's. These are a little bit smaller. little more dainty to kind of throw in here. Some little mini ones. I don't like these leaves, so we're going to take those off. Not a fan of those plastic leaves. Shimmy that down in there. Oh, glue strings are everywhere. So we're just sprinkling these around as we see fit. Not a whole lot of rhyme or reason going on here, other than the fact that they wanted a lot of sunflowers. Full is full, full is what you said. Full, full, full. A peep of yellow in there. Then we have this little wispy bush that we are going to go here, right into the side. Okay, so you see how we just sprinkled those around. Not a whole lot of rhyme or reason other than just what I thought looked good as we went. Okay, nothing crazy. Now, let's talk about adding our pumpkins. We're going to take off these leaves. Again, they're too bright for what we have going here. So I have a few velvet pumpkins, which are really soft and pretty. And then I have a couple, let's see, regular pumpkins. And this cute little pumpkin pick. So that might be cute too. Now this is a big pumpkin here. I need it to fit in good. I think it can go right there though. I do feel like we need a stick. Okay, here's one, just a plastic little piece. If I can get it started, yeah. Okay, just made my own little pick. Styrofoam. Has a little bit more, so we're gonna glue that into the styrofoam and then we'll glue this in. Put a lot of glue around this. That way it has some substance. A little extra something to make sure it's good and stuck in there. This little gourd, oh my gourd, I think we're gonna go right up here. Now again, I think I'm gonna do the same thing. This one's a little tougher. There we go. Almost out of glue. Glue this down. Now I have some Evergreen here from those ties, and that's what I'm going to kind of use as my strong point. Now, oh my gosh, this glue is stringing everywhere. Look, I just picked up some leaves. Looked like I was a magician, didn't it? Look at that. Okay, well, let's put in these cute, super cute velvet pumpkins. Again, we have 3 of these, so we need to be mindful of where we're putting them. I think I am going to go up here with this one. I'm just going to clip this a little shorter. I think we are going to go right in here with this one. Just like a blank hole here. One, two, 3. I'm gonna do a 3rd one down there. Okay, so now we can see if these cute little things. Oh, I have these other little velvet ones too, and these are smaller. Let me see if I can get these in here. Because like I said, she wants it very, very, very full. I don't know how else to emphasize. Very, very, very full. Sorry, my head is in the way, but being over here, this side gets a little bit neglected. I don't want that. We're gonna put this one right in next to this big pumpkin, just for some little bit of added dimension there. These are really wispy. I mean, I love them. I don't know if they're gonna love them. They might. Let's see. I don't love how that one's just hanging upside down. I have to heat my glue gun back up. We're getting a little cold over here. But let's put these up top and see what we think. I personally think it's cute. I think it adds a lot of texture. Just that wispiness. It's gonna get super cute, like blowing in the wind. I'm a personal favorite, so let's add some. I mean, she hired me as a designer. That gives me designer's choice. A lot of times anyway. Now some of these pumpkins though, because they're so small and styrofoam, they get damaged in shipping. I'll just clip those off. We'll do this little trio piece down here at the bottom, right under this sunflower. Does anyone else make a mess when they're crafting? Like just a whole mess? I have a whole mess over here. I did just do a live video before this though, so we're giving myself a little bit of grace. All right, we'll go one more, tucked right back in here. Now some of his hair got glued. I cut it loose so I can hang up the front here. All right, y'all. That's pretty stinking full. What you think? I think so. I think he is stinking adorable. That's a full swag. And we just did not use a lot of product. Swags can be very, very cost friendly, very, very budget friendly, cost efficient. With many things, you can put a couple of big items in it and you can truly surround it with budget items and keep it at a very reasonable price. Very reasonable price. So, all right. Well, thank you for hopping on the YouTube today and checking out this video. I hope it helped with your fall designs or Christmas or Halloween or Valentine's Day or whatever. Use this recipe for any theme. You can do it. Bye, guys.